Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how are my snipers doing today? Hope you guys are doing fantastic. Listen, today we're talking about the one and only Lemmy the Bat. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, when we started to cover this coin, it was some time ago. It was roughly 3 weeks ago, and it was around maximum 1.3 million market cap. And ladies and gentlemen, you know, even if we take it from 1.3 million market cap roughly to the tops, this thing, you could have got 7.1x the amount of money. This thing has been absolutely pumping, and we're not surprised because you know what? A lot of Matt Fury coins are slowly becoming meta, right? Previously, we talked about CC Dog, we talked about Jerry, and those have also been doing well. Ladies and gentlemen, if you bit the bullet, you pulled the trigger, and you took the risk, there have been very, very nice gains, especially in the last 2 weeks or so. We can see this week especially has been pumping, but overall it's been a nice couple of weeks of just green, right? Even this July candle, decent green, then more momentum, and then boom, ever since August 11th, this thing has absolutely exploded. And I believe it has more momentum, right? I believe the journey is not done 100% just yet. Now, I will say, right, before we talk about the most relevant technical analysis, let's go back for a second, right? Let's just go back for a second. We can see that Lemmy, right, it had a nice rally pretty much at the end of May. You can say pretty much going from 460K market cap up to almost 4 million. So, even if you got in here, you could have got a nice 7 to 8 times return. And then we had a correction, right? And then we had a correction. And we actually saw this before, and we talked about this, where, we saw this break out from the zone, from the structure, and the momentum switched. And here's the deal, people, right? With meme coins, it's always risky. Even technical analysis only has so much value. But I notice that when a team is actually good, when a team is actually legit, technical analysis does really, really matter. Okay, it really, really does. So that is the awesome thing with Lemmy. All right, we've been looking at the technical analysis, and it's been phenomenal. Last time we covered how pretty much it was creating higher lows consistently, and we expected a type of pump, and that is exactly what happened. Right, we have these bottoms here, 4 hour bottoms here, 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 double bottom, and guess what? Another nice rally. It rallied all the way to roughly 2.8 million market cap. And then we can see we were just in a range ranging from 2.9 million to pretty much, you say 2.5 and 2.4, debatably, right? We can see we actually have this nice floor over here. We have this bottom here on the 4 hour. But guess what? We have a higher low, higher low, higher low. And guess what? Lemmy just exploded. Right? Lemmy exploded. It hit past all-time highs. It hit past all-time highs. And guess what it did, people? It retested off of these highs over here. We can see this nice pullback. We can see this nice structure just kind of consolidating pretty much since the 8th until roughly the 11th and 12th. And despite the 4 hour candles being a little bit messy with how much rejection there have been, right? It still showed the signs that it was going to continue to go up higher and higher. Because why? Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have a floor over here for 4 hour, 4 hour, 4 hour floor, 4 hour floor, 4 hour floor, right? The low is just continuously getting higher and higher. And boom, guess what? Over the next day, two maximum, another explosion. Even if you got in late, let's say you got in somewhere here, you still could have made almost double the amount in just a day or two, which is absolutely crazy, right? It is absolutely crazy. Now, here's the deal, people, right? We are reaching a good milestone because if we actually do go to the daily, and let's say we take it from the tops over here to the bottoms, right? We can see that we did almost tap into the 2.6 zone. And we know usually, right, when coins fly, depending on the context, of course, because when something goes viral, if Lemmy just went viral overnight, this thing could go to 70 million market cap, right? It could go to 200 million market cap. So these zones are only relative within its context. But we know there's a high probability of us even going up to the 3.16 or the 4.2 area because we are a low market cap coin. So Lemmy could definitely see still another pump, probably one more pump to the upside, upwards of 15 to 20 million market cap, even before it officially sells off. Now, I will say we will be monitoring the price action because right now on the 1 hour, we're going to have to make a decision soon. We can see, ladies and gentlemen, that we do have tops around 9 million market cap. Then we have a little bit of a lower high, but we also have a low and a higher low. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, we are already on the hourly getting squished, right? Most likely there is going to be some type of reaction off of this order block, 8 million, right? We might come back down. But then if we start bouncing off the 7.1 million market cap, there's a very high chance that, like I said, we do continue to rally once again. When we look at the 4 hour, there's just simply not enough data yet to really just know 100% if we're going to have another leg to the upside. But based off of probability, I would not be surprised if there would be. Now, listen, if we go to something like Coin Market Cap and we look at something like Lemmy the Bat, right? If we go to Lemmy the Bat, this thing has been absolutely amazing. Lemmy, my boy, right? Boom, there we go. We can see that we're still pretty much just on three exchanges. We are also on open ocean, but I do expect a Mexi listing soon. And I also do know there's going to be more listings in the near future. Things have been absolutely looking good. I don't think the last time we checked, we had 600 holders. And yeah, we practically doubled that, right? Now we're at 1,300. This is why, if you're willing to risk money, not a financial advisor. If there's something promising, if there's a promising team, you just take the risk because anyone that did take the risk, they would have been up at least 5 to 7 times their money when we started to publish, about this coin, right? Maximum you could have got at this current moment is roughly 7 times. And, even right now, 5.7 times is absolutely amazing, like 2 to 2.5 week span. So, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, things are looking solid. I expect Lemmy to continue to do well. We can see when we go to their Twitter that they are at almost 1,400 followers, and I expect it to do good over the next coming weeks, right? Even if there's going to be a sell off, I do expect this coin to have another leg to the upside eventually. And we can see, right? They're posting videos, they're posting videos. This is what we love to see. And yeah, we love these types of videos because they have nice viral potential. But that is ultimately it, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know if you got in on the wave. Let me know if you've made money. Let me know what your goal is with Lemmy because I really do believe, these Matt Fury coins are going to be meta and they're going to be back in, the spotlight. So yeah, that is it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys did enjoy. I love you guys so much, ladies and gentlemen. I'll talk to you guys next time. Goodbye.